Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I'd like to present our research title, The Effect of Work-Life Conflict and Mentoring on Female Career Advancement. Our team members are Syarul Ahmad, Norino Abdul Aziz, Fatimah Hashim, Siti Masna Saringan, and myself, Rahimah Mohamed Yunos, and we are from UITM Cawangan, Johor, Campus Segamat. The aim of our research is to answer the following research question. What is the effect of work-life conflict on female career advancement? And what is the effect of mentoring on female career advancement? So the presentation today will be divided into 5 sections. First is the introduction part. Second is the literature review, research method, followed by results, and lastly, the conclusion. Let's go into introduction. Here are 2 charts. These charts relates to the gender gap. Right, the first one is the gender gap in labour force participation rates by country for 2018. And on the right side, labour force participation rate in Malaysia by gender for 2020/2021. So from the first chart, we can see this yellow bar. It shows that Malaysia is the 4th country experience high gender gap in the labour market after Myanmar, Indonesia, and Philippines. So based on the Malaysian labour force survey, housework or family responsibilities are the main reason given by women for not joining the workforce. So if we refer to chart here on the right side, Q1 2021, it shows that the highest rate for female participation at 75.1% are in the group age of 25 to 34 years old. So we assume this is the time when they graduate, right, from their degree. Okay, and then the rate reduced tremendously, okay, towards the age group of 45 to 54 years old at 57%, and further reduced at 27.2% at the age group of 55 to 64. So these observations seem to suggest that women leave the workforce at the time they should have reached the peak in their career. So men, however, if we compare on the same chart, they maintain their participation between 92.4% to 95.4% to 95.4% around this age, and at the age of 55 to 64, there were a decline but not as much as women at the same group of age. So similar observation can be seen in Q4 2020, suggesting that labour force is conquered by men. When we talk about women career advancement, it relates to the glass ceiling, which is defined as an invisible barrier that prevents women from rising beyond a certain level in a hierarchy. So this glass ceiling was first devised by Marilyn Loden. The concept revolves around corporate hierarchy and the hidden barrier that prevents women from going up to the authority level. And evidence showed that the presence of a glass ceiling reduced career satisfaction among women and forbid them from recognizing the organization's goal that ultimately limits their career development. The perception that women are always not readily available and often multitask with their personal life have disowned the trust from employers and hence leading to the creation of a glass ceiling. There were also claims that men in the top management are elusive towards gender equality, where they believe that decision-making positions should be led by men. Termed as broken rank, women miss the first step up to manager ever since the beginning of their career. And previous study also showed that although the proportion of women in management have increased, involvement in decision-making is still low. Now, this is a question. Can women become a leader? Alright, there's a perception that women incapable of competing with males. They are less skilled, they're always unavailable and multitask with personal lives. So this role congruity theory explains 2 types of prejudice. One is gender roles and another one is leadership roles. So the gender roles mention about communal and agentic attributes. Communal attributes strongly associated with women as it's primarily concerned the welfare of other people for being helpful, kind, sympathetic, affectionate, sensitive, and gentle, whereas the agentic attributes are strongly recognized with men for being aggressive, dominant, forceful, independent, self-confident, and self-sufficient, whereby these attributes are perceived susceptible as a leader. So the role congruency theory may also explain how social perception of gender roles influence whether women are permitted to take on leadership roles. Now let's move to literature review. Okay, this is figures relating to women on board. The Malaysian Code on Corporate Governance Best Practice require that all listed companies to appoint at least 30% women director on their board. So however, the target has not been achieved, though there is an improvement in the percentage. So if we look at here, top 100 listed company, there was only 24.82% women director in 2019, though this has increased from 2018. And when the data is from all listed company, the percentage is much lower, which is 16.96% in 2019, right? And when they look into detail, they found that of the top 100 listed company, 5 companies do not have any female director on their board. All right, so basically all these out of 772 listed company, their proportion of female director are less than 30%. And in fact, Securities Commission identified that the company's policies on gender diversity remain among the lowest level of adoption, right, by the listed issuer. So this empirical evidence relating to the presence of women on board, they showed that when the proportion of women on board is too low, it will have no impact on the company's performance. And the idea of gender diversity is because people with same thinking have narrow view of fast changing world. So that is why under the best corporate governance best practice, listed companies are required to have at least 30%, so that there is a combination of idea between women and men in decision making. And the studies have shown that women on board enhance innovation activity, it increased higher corporate social responsibility reporting, it improved corporate sustainability, and it increased profitability. A career progression is a move from a lower to a higher level of employment until reach management level. So this progression can take place within the same occupation or through a transition to a related profession that requires a higher level of education. Not only it is important to aim for a higher salary, but it is also important to keep learning to avoid mediocrity or job dissatisfaction. So among efforts that must be undertaken to improve career growth is to sharpen communication skill, maintaining workplace attitude, participate in training, and further education. An individual need to have high self-awareness to identify and understand changes in working environment and culture to respond accordingly. These are two factors that examined in this study, work-life conflict and mentoring. So under the work-life conflict, we discuss on work roles and living roles. So work roles are tasks that must be completed to earn a wage, whereas living roles are connected to family life such as partnering, parenting, and personal activities. So work-family conflict develops when the work role is impeded by engagement in the family role, shortage of comprehensive and affordable childcare that require them to spend taking care of family members more than performing professional works, particularly when the main reason for women to work is concerned to economic necessity rather than career ambition. Bureau of Labour Statistics 2021 reported that women carry more domestic duties than men, and they spend more time caring for children. In order to work without neglecting this responsibility to family, so this is where the multitasking comes, they would choose to work part-time, commit to flexible working hours, and settle with lower wages in return for a workplace that is closer to home, all of which do not foresee promotion opportunities. So studies propose a mentoring paradigm that stresses two roles in mentoring, career and psychological. Mentoring is a career role that provides assistance, exposure, coaching, protection, crucial service, and the delivery of professional standards and ethics. As the mentor becomes the role model, they offers an outlet for the mentee to seek guidance, form friendships, and address difficulties to get acceptance and acknowledgement. And previous study shows that mentoring has a beneficial impact on women's retention and professional development because it provides a third space for them to engage in the profession and gain confidence. And they identified that structured mentorship as a technique for empowering women in talent management and addressing gender imbalance. It helps women increase their confidence. And also, this mentoring helps them to eliminate information gaps. There are two hypotheses in this study. Hypothesis 1, work-life conflict has a negative effect on female career advancement. And hypothesis 2, mentoring has a positive effect on female career advancement. Now we move on to research method. The participants of this study are employed UiTM alumni, and the total participants are 106. We use questionnaires to collect data for our study. So these are the variables. Career advancement is the dependent variable, whereas work-life conflict and mentoring are independent variables. So career advancement is measured using 7 items, work-life conflict using 8 items, and mentoring is measured using 15 items. So the survey question utilized a 5-point Likert scale, 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree for each statement, and respondents were asked to indicate their perception about working in their present organization. A higher score, strongly agree on the career advancement, indicates a higher degree of potential for career advancement. A higher score on the work-life conflict indicates a higher degree of work-life conflict. And similarly, a higher score on the mentoring indicates that the participant perceive they receive great mentoring. Next, I will present the result of the study. This is a descriptive statistic. So the figure shows that majority of the respondents were between the age of 26 and 35 and 36 to 50 years old. And more than half were married, but none of the participants have dependent children. 70% of the respondents had a bachelor degree and 18% had a master degree. And the remaining had a diploma and postgraduate qualification, and the smallest percentage had professional qualification. 44% of the respondents has working years of more than 10 years. Only 15% of them are in junior level and 45% are at senior level. Majority of them work in private sectors followed by government sector. We continue with the descriptive statistic. So it shows that career advancement shows a mean score of 4.012, indicating that participants agree that women get support from the organization they currently work to enhance their career. As for work-life conflict, the higher the mean value, the more conflict there is between work and personal life. Our study found that most participants experience little conflict between the two, as reflected by the mean value of 2.834. A higher score on the mentoring indicates that the participant perceive they receive great mentoring. We found that participant perception are neutral but towards agreement about receiving mentorship in the organization based on the mean value of 3.882. Of the 8 items measuring the work-life conflict, the highest mean score was on their perception about personal life negatively affected due to tiredness at work. And the highest score on mentoring is on a statement. They are given challenging tasks and opportunities to learn new skills. This is a result from multiple regression analysis, which is the effect of the work-life conflict and the mentoring on career advancement. We found that mentoring has the highest contribution to female career advancement relative to work-life conflict, as shown by its higher coefficient. And the analysis also showed that female career advancement is significantly influenced by work-life conflict at a 5% significance level and mentoring at a 1% significance level. The finding supports hypothesis 1 and hypothesis 2 that work life is inversely related to career advancement, while mentoring is positively related to career advancement. Lastly, I would like to conclude our study. Based on our finding, we suggest that employers to set up a formal mentoring programs for their female employees to boost up their motivation so they can get structured training, sharing of knowledge and experience from mentors who ideally the senior staff. Instead of just a relationship with colleagues where they do share some knowledge, formal structured with evaluation and monitoring will help persuade the participant or the women to be committed. We also believe that a higher learning institution also plays a significant role to produce female graduates who have better self-awareness and have ambitions. Train them about being a leader packed with knowledge and skill so that they become more confident and firmer to compete with men. Higher learning institutions must organize activities that help to build their leadership talent, including time management and ability to recognize the difference between opportunity and responsibility. Women may be discriminated at work on the perception that women do not focus on career due to their dual roles as employee and mother or wife. Women may lose opportunity to lead new projects or to perform challenging tasks simply because women don't always be there like men do, or women are not always available when they are needed. Work-life conflict experienced by some women are norm, and they don't deserve to be judged or blamed. All we can help is to provide proactive support so these women are not left out in their professional development. This is a quote from R.T. Kurana. A strong woman is the lifeline of her family. She carries within her the power to endure pain and the courage to sacrifice. Women has the power to create and nurture life. Women is indeed an epitome of love and sacrifice. That is all from our group. Thank you very much.